My goal for 2020 is to hire 207 agents that we can positively impact for their real estate business.
In 2020, my goal is to spend more time with the family as we've got 2 kids going off to college.
In 2020, my goal is to sell 90 homes.
In 2020, my goal is to create a legacy of memories with my children.
My goal for 2020, since I am now considered an empty nester, would be to travel with my husband.
My goal for 2020 is to be more purposeful.
My 2020 goal is to read 24 books this year. I'm pretty excited about that. Some of them are going to be audiobooks, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
My goal for 2020 is to become a better version of myself.
My goal for 2020 is to help 200 young adults understand the quality and the mission for their lives. And we do that through Keller Williams Kids Can's Quantum Leap.
One of my goals for 2020 is to step outside my comfort zone, which is the only reason why I agreed to do this video.
What does this song mean? My whole life, I don't know what this song means. I mean, should old acquaintance be forgot? Does that mean that we should forget old acquaintances? It doesn't mean that if we happen to forget them, we should remember them, which is not possible because we already forgot them.
Well, maybe it just means that we should remember that we forgot them or something. Anyway, it's about old friends.
Happy New Year! We all recently finished writing another chapter in our life story. If you're like most, you reflected on the best of 2019 and you reflected on the rest of 2019. And then you did what we all do. You celebrated the beginning of 2020 by singing Auld Lang Syne and making New Year's resolutions. Or not. You sang Auld Lang Syne even though you don't know the words. Come on, you don't know the words. No one knows the words. But we all do it. We all sing the song even though we don't know the words. And we all make resolutions that we don't intend to keep. Actually, only 50% of us made resolutions, and less than 10% of those that do will keep them. Maybe that's because we made the resolutions at the wrong time, New Year's Eve, and so we forgot them. And maybe the other 50% didn't make resolutions simply because, well, I don't know why. Maybe they just had too much to drink and they forgot to do it. Regardless of whether you made New Year's resolutions or not, here's what I know is true. We all want 2020 to be better than 2019. We want it to be better in our personal lives and in our professional lives. We all want 2020 to be our best year ever. We all want to write the best chapter ever in our life story. And we can write our best chapter if we make the choice right here and right now to do so. Once we choose the specific destinations in all 6 areas of our life, best, we need to write it down. We need a life plan in writing. We then need to develop a roadmap to get where all of us want to go in the 6 areas of our life. And finally, we need a voice of accountability to be there, to inspire us, to encourage us, to keep the promises that we are making to ourselves and to others right here and right now. Which is exactly why we developed the Personal and Professional Best program. Personal and Professional Best offers you a platform to become the best version of you. If you make the choice right here and right now to fully invest with Personal and Professional Best in 2020, I promise you 2 things. First, I promise you that when you sing Auld Lang Syne this coming New Year's Eve, you'll actually know the words. And I also promise you that when you sing the song, you'll do so knowing that you just authored the best chapter ever in your life story. When it comes to creating resolutions, the most common resolution centers around health and fitness. Maybe it's all those holiday parties or too many cookies left out for Santa Claus, but by the time we get to the new year, millions of Americans are committing to make this year the year that they'll finally get in shape. Unfortunately, most of those resolutions are abandoned by February. Well, we want all of us this year to be different. So we'll be speaking to some experts on the topic of health and fitness on this program to give you the tools to avoid the fads and finally to improve our health and our fitness life for good. But before we talk with our experts, we wanted to show you a brief clip to help you understand that if you're struggling with making health and fitness a priority, well, you're not alone. Even the best struggle at it. Yeah, so what are you not working on? Like, what is that thing right now in your personal or your professional life that you know you need to get to, but you haven't really kind of taken it on yet? That you want to?
I need to get in shape more so than I am. I definitely need to get a trainer.
It's not that I'm not working on it. I'm just not working on it at the level that I should or could, and that's just health and fitness.
I'm going to be completely transparent and honest. I am not working on my physical fitness.
I do a pretty good job, and the running joke is for a heavy-set guy, I'm pretty darn athletic.
Professionally, if I'm not my best physically and spiritually, I can't give back to my kids or to my business.
And so what I usually let move off my schedule is me.
That's a limiting belief and a statement that, I've grown to tell myself, being perfectly candid.
I have to maintain my health in order to be able to take care of my people moving forward and accomplish everything that I have on my agenda.
I've been ice skating on just running on good sleep, good nutrition, and a full schedule. But the truth of the matter is what I need to be working on is total well-rounded working out health.
We're here today with Bobby Aldridge, who owns Synergy Fitness just across the street from our location here, which is the new Supreme Fitness Center. Bobby's background, exercise science degree from Georgia Southern. He also did graduate work with Armstrong Atlantic University, and he spent 25 years as a certified trainer and dietitian helping whoever really wanted to be helped and made commitments to be helped get to that place where all of you want to go, which is to be in your very best physical shape. Bobby, welcome back to Personal and Professional Best.
Appreciate
All right, so listen, it's New Year's, of course. The number one resolution for all American adults is to get in shape, get back in shape. So we're assuming that those in the crowd are out of shape, and we're also assuming they haven't been doing any exercise recently, and we're going to talk about what they should do then. What's the most important thing that they should do, Bobby?
See a doctor first.
See a doctor first. Okay.
Before
well, let's
anything
do this.
else.
Let's go see a doctor first. I'll be right back.
I'll wait on you.
On my way to see Dr. David Rodriguez at Sandy Springs Internal Medicine. Dr. Dave graduated from Emory University, been practicing medicine for 30 years now, and he has seen 50,000 patients. Dude knows a bit about medicine. Let's go get a chat with Dr. Dave. A little bit nervous going to the doctor. Fortunately, he's not taking out a needle. Dr. Dave, great to see you today.
Yes, sir. You too.
And I'm particularly excited because I don't have to give any blood or anything else today.
There you
Normally
go.
you go to the doctor and you get all uptight, or a lot of people do. Anyway, our program this month is about health and fitness. And the number one New Year's resolution for adults is to get back in shape.
Right.
So talking to my personal trainer, he said, before you do anything, you should go see a doctor. So I'm here to see my doctor and a doctor to give us all some advice. So if people are not working out today, just kind of let themselves go health-wise, which is really the majority of American adults, they should come get a physical.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's critical to be sure that you're healthy enough to actually exercise, okay? And so that starts with the basics. I mean, in our practice, we provide a tremendous number of questionnaires to get to the root of people's general health, nutritional things about mental health, alcohol, tobacco use, medications, dietary issues, etc. The idea there is to get a full impression of the person's health before we actually examine them and before we do lab work and further testing. So that's how it starts. And then we do laboratory testing. We're looking at a lot of things there. We're looking at white count, looking for troubles with immunity. We're looking for troubles with anemia, troubles with platelet and bone marrow function. Then we do comprehensive metabolic testing, checking electrolytes, sodium, potassium chloride, kidney, liver, thyroid, PSA in men, chest x-ray, EKG. We're doing breathing testing, audiogram testing. So after we get all of that stuff back, then we can give advice on how to keep people healthy. I tell people my job is to keep them out of the hospital and away from doctors, okay? That's my plan.
So if they'll come see the doctor, there's a good chance they'll get to see doctors less.
Exactly.
Right? So it just makes all the sense in the world. I think most people, is it true, that are just afraid to go to the doctor if they've not been in a while?
I hear it all the time. People come in and they say, I haven't been here in a while because I'm afraid you're going to find something wrong with me, okay? And I say, you know what? Most of my time I tell people there's nothing wrong with them.
Well, the reason there's a number one New Year's resolution to get back in shape or to get healthy is because most people are not doing anything about it. And yet it's the most important thing that we could possibly do, because we can't be our best in life for family, for friends, in business, unless we have our health. So so now you have a baseline, right? So what are the 2 or 3 things from an adult standpoint that you see that lead to problems that are not hereditary, are things that they can control, that they should watch?
Yeah, and primarily it is exercise, weight, and diet. Those are the main things. Because if people are exercising regularly, which we mean the minimum 30 minutes 5 times a week, okay? And whatever you like to do, walking, biking, swimming, CrossFit, trainers, doesn't matter. But
any kind of cardio.
You need to get the heart rate up. Almost everybody has a heart rate monitor these days. So get the heart rate up. Let's do that for 30 minutes, 5 times a week. That's a great place to start. The other challenge on exercise is putting it into your daily routine and finding out what time of the day is best for you. So typically what I have found is you're either the morning person, you're the lunch person, or you're the after work person. Figure out who you are and get that into your daily schedule.
It's interesting because people in business, which is everyone watching today, they will make priorities on their schedule to do business, right? And so we're talking about doing business with health. So as you just described, it doesn't matter if it's first thing in the morning or noon or late in the day. Figure out how it gets on the calendar and stays on the calendar consistently. You mentioned weight, and I've looked at statistics that suggest that anywhere from like 75 to 80% of Americans are overweight. Is that true?
Yeah, unfortunately, at the moment, we have an epidemic in obesity in the United States. And that dovetails into risk for type 2 diabetes, because type 2 diabetes is a condition where there's insulin resistance. So what that means is the more fat cells you have on your body, the less efficient your insulin can be. So, I mean, it's a big problem. And it's primarily because there's just too much food in our society. Okay? You have to be very cautious about what you're eating. And you need to focus on protein, vegetables, hydration.
Where do we find out how much we should weigh?
Excellent question. So in today's world, we use what's called a BMI, body mass index. So you can look that up in any internet search and look for a BMI calculator. Essentially, it's going to take, you plug in your height, you plug in your weight. It's going to give you a number. The number should be between 18 and 25. That's a normal BMI, okay? You're less than 18 on the BMI, you're a little too low. You need to increase your weight. You're between 25 and 30, you're considered overweight. You're above 30, you're considered obese. Okay? So BMI calculator, height, weight, that's how you find that out.
Is weight the number one problem that causes other problems?
Oh, it's tremendous. Yeah, tremendous number of problems. I mentioned type 2 diabetes, but also cardiovascular disease, conditions that are called obstructive sleep apnea. So as people's weight increases, there's too much tissue in the neck. This causes snoring at night. This causes low oxygen levels while you sleep. This increases risk for sudden death, heart attack, stroke, not to mention a condition we call pulmonary hypertension, where there's scarring in the lung. This can raise blood pressure and cause all sorts of problems. So most people manifest, that's one of our screeners, by the way, in the physical. We do a thing called an Epworth Sleepiness Index. Essentially, it asks you questions like, well, how likely are you to fall asleep if you sit down to read a book? Or how likely are you to fall asleep if you're a passenger riding in a car? Or how likely are you to fall asleep in a situation where there's not a lot of stimulation? And it's a way for us to screen for obstructive sleep apnea. So that's a big one.
So there's a number of things, right? We've talked about cardio, getting 30 minutes at least 5 days a week, however you get the cardio. We've talked about diet, not in detail, but the most important thing that you think that could, in a comprehensive way, impact people's health is to get their weight to the right level.
Yeah, I think it's very important. And you know, it's one of those things that we can all control. And so that's the thing about weight, is that, you know, you can do it. I've seen it done.
Well, we have in our kitchen, in our office, we have on the wall, eat less, eat better, and exercise more. Because we feel, as you know, 7 years ago, I was 23 pounds heavier. And that's what I decided to do. I just took the plate that I normally ate and had a little bit less. And then I started replacing things on the plate with better things on the plate. So I didn't radically change. And then I got back to exercising. And, you know, as it turns out, obviously, I got to my target weight pretty quickly.
I think it's great. Let's talk about diet for a minute, because the thing about diet is that in my mind, there's no such thing as going on a diet. The idea is you change your eating behavior. Okay? There's not something that has a beginning and an end point. This is, we're gonna modify it, and we're gonna keep doing it, okay? Because a lot of people go on diets, they lose a lot of weight, and then they go back to their regular eating habits and you know, traditional behaviors, and they gain their weight back.
So if people are in the audience today, have that as their resolution, they haven't been to the doctor for a while, right? You recommend they go once a year to get a physical so they keep their baseline.
Yeah, absolutely, but particularly over the age of 50. I think it's pretty much mandatory. If you're over 50, you need a physical every year. If you're younger than 50 and otherwise healthy, every 2 to 3 years is probably reasonable. But you know, the thing is, if you have medical conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, you know, other conditions that require medications, then you need to go every year, irrespective of what your age is, because you need ongoing monitoring.
Dr. Dave, thank you so much for being a part of our program today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'm back.
Are we good?
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Dave. We appreciate your insights and your expertise. All right, Bobby, let's get started. So let's talk about diet and exercise. We'll start with diet. Keto, Weight Watchers, Mediterranean, intermittent, South Beach. We could go on and on and on, but we don't have that much time. Talk to us about diet.
So a diet, I like to judge a diet by using 4 S's, okay? Before we have a client follow a diet, I like to know if that diet is simple enough to follow. So S1 is simple. S2, is it science-backed, right? Is it include all the nutrients that you need? Is it protein, carbs, vitamins, minerals, all of that? Is it sustainable? Because I don't want a diet to be short-term. I want it to be long-term. So can you sustain that diet over a period of time, lifelong, hopefully, lifestyle change? And then last, has it shown success over a long period of time with people like you, right? So the 4 S's is kind of a key that I like to judge a diet by when I'm working with clients.
And we got to really make life change, don't we?
You have to make life
we
change.
can't just
Lifestyle
go on a
change.
diet. We really have to have a lifestyle that feeds us, that accomplishes the
Correct.
goal, right?
Correct.
And the goal is 75% plus Americans are either overweight or technically obese. Not trying to be politically correct, wanting you to get to a place where you can be the best version of yourself. We really need to focus on the most important thing, which is get our weight right. So how do we lose weight? Give us the caloric equation that allows us to lose weight.
So we have to create a caloric deficit, right? So you can do that by lowering calories, eat less, take away the empty calories. You can burn more. We can burn 300, 500,000 calories in a workout, but a pound is 3,500 calories a week, right? So if we take away 500 calories a day, 7 days a week, we can lose a pound a week.
So if we'll eat,
and that's sustainable.
If we'll eat a little bit less and cut 250 out of our caloric intake, and we burn 250 more, we get a pound.
You're there. You're
Wow,
a pound lighter.
amazing.
Every single week.
And so, Bobby, I favor red wine, right? And so, how many calories in a glass of red wine?
Well, I've seen your glass. I think it might be 200 calories.
All right, so we need to wind up focusing on everything that we take in and know the number of calories, because if we really want this year to be different and we want to accomplish our goals, we have to know the information. You got to know what you're taking in so that you can know how to shrink it down and then how to burn it by doing exercise. Let's get to the topic of exercise. Where should we start?
So with exercise, I like people. So I have another little letter, 4-letter word, PSPS. All right. So there's never a perfect time to start, right? We're busy. You have work, kids, sports, travel, vacation. It's cold. It's rainy. There's never a perfect time. So when is the perfect time? Now. You just have to start, because there's never theoretically a perfect time. The S in this is a start small or start slow, or just do something, right? So that might be visiting gyms, talking to trainers, reading a book, going online, starting just to walk, even if you have 10 minutes a day, or walk around the office if you have 10 minutes at lunch. Start small steps, and you'll build on that, and you'll build momentum. The next P is push through when it gets hard, because it's going to get hard. You might be sore, you might be tired, you might just be over it and don't feel like you're getting the results, but you need to push through with persistence. And then finally, get a support system. That could be a coworker, a friend, a spouse, a neighbor,
That
or
provides accountability.
it could be a trainer.
It could be a
trainer for the support system.
Awesome. So we need to do both cardio and we need to do strength training. And there's a reason for both. Talk about it a little bit.
We like to do both. Strength training without cardio. So strength training builds muscle, right? So we have to have muscle for metabolism. It builds metabolism, actually burns calories the more muscle you have. Posture, daily living, strengthening the bones. And then cardio to lose the weight. So you're going to burn calories while you're doing cardio. You burn calories while you're doing strength training and after, because you have more muscle. But the cardio for heart health, cardio to lose the belly, cardio clears the mind, gets the blood flowing. So we like a combination of both.
Yeah, so you don't need to shoot to look like this, but you can look much different than you do. More importantly, you can feel much better than you do. And the most important thing is your health will get better as you drop weight, improve your cardiovascular system. So you need to make this today the day you decide to live life differently and not just have a resolution, but to actually accomplish those things, the promises that you're making to yourself. I want to ask about trainers, right? I know you're a bit biased because you're in the business, but lots of people, thousands of people have gym memberships and they don't have a personal trainer. Talk a little bit about what a trainer really does in relationship with a client?
Okay, so some fun facts, right? 80% of the people that join in January, if they have a New Year's resolution, drop out by May. 80% of people who have a gym membership don't use it. So the reasons this typically is the case, because at a studio, 80% stay. It's because they have that accountability partner. So we work with a client, find out what they're trying to achieve, do a specific plan, hold them accountable to the plan, make sure they work to their capacity when they're there. So all the bases, but also not only are you going to get a good workout when you're there, but what are you doing when you're outside of there? So if I have you 3 hours a week, I don't know how many other hours, 140 something maybe, that you're doing whatever. I got to hold you accountable on those hours.
And it's like anything else in life. You just can't pick a trainer. You have to pick somebody that you interview and that you like, who's willing to hold you accountable, because there's a lot of trainers that are willing to take your money. But the idea of actually getting in relationship with you, knowing and helping you establish goals and teaching you how to achieve those goals, as Bobby has with me, and then really doing things like him texting me tomorrow morning, where's the weight this morning? I know it's Friday evening, right? So Friday evening means me and Lisa out on a date, maybe some wine, good food. What are you eating? And so our relationship is not only when I see Bobby, but otherwise Bobby will text. And that's really where the value of a personal trainer can come in. And listen, how much does it cost to have a personal trainer?
You could start as low as $35 a session, and you could check in once a month, once a week, twice a week. It's up to the client on whatever amount of accountability they need. But at least once, get a plan and be held accountable to the plan at least once a week, but it could be once a month.
If you think you can't afford it, think about the other things in your life that you'll gladly spend money on. And then think about the value of actually this year changing the outcome of your health and your fitness, which is what you're promising yourself today that you're going to do. Bobby, thanks so much for being a part of Personal Professional Best.
I appreciate it, as always.
In 2020, we promised to go on 2 date nights per month.
In 2020, I promised to visit my grandparents at least twice a month.
In 2020, I promised to be more present with my kids, and one way that I'm doing that is I'm taking them on a cruise for spring break in April.
In 2020, I promised to use the new Supreme Fitness Gym at least 3 times a week to lose 20 pounds.
In 2020, I promise I will work out 3 times a week.
In 2019, I lost 60 pounds with the Supreme Personal and Professional Best program. In 2020, I plan to continue my weight loss journey, and I'm going to do my first 10K.
In 2020, we promised to double our monthly savings.
In 2020, I promised to pay off all my credit card debt.
In 2020, I promised to save $200 a month so we can finally remodel our kitchen.
In 2020, I promise I will take all my vacation time.
In 2020, I promised to be in the top 3 of the upcoming Atlanta Pinball League.
In 2020, I promised to finally learn how to swim.
In 2020, I promised to volunteer at least one Saturday to the Supreme Lending Habitat for Humanity build.
In 2020, I promised to get my kids more involved in community service.
I promised in 2020 to work on my community service by building beds for children that don't have beds for Sleep in Heavenly Peace in Pensacola, Florida.
In 2020, I promised to qualify for President's Club and earn the trip by providing remarkable customer service.
In 2020, I promised to train 2 new underwriters so I can go on vacation this year.
In 2020, I promised to become a better leader and bring out the best productivity in all of my coworkers.
It's that time of year again. Everybody here at Supreme is working to specifically identify the promises that they are making to themselves and others in 2020. We changed the 2 most commonly used words, resolutions and goals, to the best word, promise. It's a much more powerful word. Over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through a promise or 2 I'm making to myself and others in my life in each one of the personal and professional best categories. I'm entering each of my destinations into the best GPS tool at supremebest.com, and you should too. You know why? Because all of you that do, next week, we're going to do a drawing, and you'll be eligible, if you enter your promises, for a $2,500 donation to the charity of your choice. That's right. We together can help make the world a better place, and you can record your promises about living your very best life in 2020. Let's get started with family and relationships. In the area of family and relationship, this year, I'm going to follow up on what I did last year. Last year, I decided, this gal right here, Lisa, my wife of 35 years, I wasn't going to get mad at her the whole year. I know what you're thinking. How'd that go? It went great. It was our best year ever of marriage. I was intentional. I decided, I love you so much. Why would I ever get mad at you? Several people have asked me how that went. It went great. Several people have also asked me, did she commit the same? Nope. It was my choice, my promise I made to myself and to Lisa and to others. This year, I'm promising this in 2020. I'm not going to get mad at anyone in the universe in 2020. Hey, we're in the relationship business. The better we become in relationships, the better we'll become as business people, as professionals. So personal, professional, best. I'm not getting mad at anyone. I don't care what they do. I'm choosing to just love on people and treat people better than they deserve to be treated. Let's move on to health and fitness. Why don't we? 2020, here's the deal. I'm going to get an annual physical. Always do. I'm going to a skin doctor. Why? Because I grew up in South Florida. I still like the sun. The other thing I had to do last year that I don't have to do this year, I had to go to that over 50 doctor. You know what I'm talking about? Yep. So this year, I'm going to drink less alcohol, 4 dry days at minimum every week. I'm going to maintain being in the top 1% for my age group for both weight and strength. And finally, I'm going back to the doctor again this year to see David Rodriguez for my physical and the skin doctor as well. Let's move on to personal finance. Here's the deal. This is how I roll. Give away 10%, save 20%, spend what's left over or not. That's a formula so that you don't spend yourself into stress and anxiety that you don't need. And it gives you some money to give, right? So this year, instead of a 10% tithe, we're going to give away 15%. Anyway, we're also going to save 20% again this year, and then we'll spend what's left over or not. Let's move on to fun and recreations. Promises. Last year, I wanted to get rid of the bad taste in my mouth after Alabama lost the national championship game. They were in the national championship. This year, they weren't, so it's even a worse taste. But anyway, last year, I went to the spring game called A-Day game. And I took Papa, my father-in-law, and I took my 2 boys. So we not only checked family and relationships, we checked fun and recreation. Ask everybody who was in Tuscaloosa the evening before and the day of. We had some fun, that's for sure. This year, October 3rd, I will be in Oxford, Mississippi. Hotty toddy. And I'll be going there to watch the Alabama Crimson Tide play Ole Miss. I can't wait. I've heard it's one of the best towns in the country, Oxford, Mississippi. I'll look forward to going and visiting. Bring Papa, my father-in-law, and bring my 2 boys with me. Faith and community service. Each year, 20 plus years in a row now, I've read the Bible from front to back each year. Completing it front to back. I want all of you to know, if you're not a person of faith, I am a person of faith. I'm no better than anyone else, no better than you. I love on everybody. I hope you love me back, even though you now know I'm a man of faith. Anyhow, this year, read the Bible front to back again, and also deliver our 8th Habitat home here in the Atlanta marketplace. And finally, partnering with you to make the world a better place. We're going to give away $150,000 through our Smart Trivia program. Can't wait to play starting today. Let's give some money away and make the world a better place. Business 2020, it's our last category. Let's chat real quick. Last year, we were the number 1 or number 2 employer, Atlanta and South Florida. We had top box at 90%, highest ever in this organization. Close on time, fund on time. To get you paid on time, 99.05% last year. And we also closed $1.2 billion, 5,200 customers. This year, we plan on improving our ASAT, customer SAT, and also we plan on closing, with God's blessing, $1.4 billion and 6,000 customers. We'll keep you up to date as we go along. But also last year, we did some things as a partner to add value in our partnership. We inspired and we educated. We inspired with personal and professional best. We educated with our continuing education programs, appraisals, inspections. We also did last year, for the first time ever, we did credit training and we did condo training. Good stuff. Great feedback from all of you. We created CE last year for 2,500 agents. This year, our goal is 5,000, double the number of agents that we actually do education for. And we got 2 great programs we're kicking off this year. One, Horst Schulze, the founder of the Ritz-Carlton, is partnering with us to do delivering the industry's best customer experience in real estate. That program will be ready in the second quarter 2020. One that's ready right now here in Atlanta. It's been approved. It's about to be approved in South Florida, and soon will be approved in Charlotte, North Carolina, is Market Like a Rock Star. That's right. Ty Anderson, who heads our marketing organization, actually is a former rock star. He has 4 Grammy Awards as one of the founders of one of the top Christian rock bands ever, Third Day. And Ty now is professionally accomplished as a marketeer. He's going to be out in your community, sold out shows, okay? And he's going to be marketing like a rock star. And he's going to teach you how to do it as well. And I look forward to you seeing the show. Let's get some feedback from those who already have.
The Market Like a Rockstar CE class was absolutely incredible. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Basically, in 3 hours, we got an MBA in marketing.
Leaving the class, I feel like I have a better marketing framework.
This class was so much fun, had so much information, and I think the biggest thing is, look, I get to hold a Grammy.
I loved the Market Like a Rockstar class. I feel like Ty, number one, you get to meet a real life rock star, which is super awesome.
We learned so much about how to treat our clients like rock stars, how to be human, how to be more personable, how to gain referrals. It was an incredible class with a lot of information.
But his energy and just his enthusiasm and just learning about the music industry and how it applies to us as real estate agents was awesome.
He used his own life experiences and the journey that he went on, and he talked about the transitions that he had to make from being a rock star in music to the business world, and it really helped us to understand and apply the things that he was teaching us to our businesses.
Ty really made it very relatable with the music and guessing some of the songs. We really made it where you wanted to interact, and the most painless CE course I've ever taken.
I'm a new agent, so for me this was invaluable, especially going into a new year.
He used the ability of sound, images, videos to bring all of his points home, and understood in a sense what we as agents need to do to help market ourselves like a rock star.
Marketing Like a Rockstar was my favorite CE class so far.
It was the most fun CE class I've ever taken, so you will not be bored. The hours fly by really fast, and you're gonna learn so much.
Market Like a Rock Star is coming to an office near you. Get your tickets, and the best part is the tickets are free. Hey, make the choice right here, right now, to make 2020 your best year ever. And go on Best GPS and complete your life plan in detail, specific for all 6 categories, so you can become your best this year. And finally, get an accountability partner. Look around. Maybe there's one sitting right next to you who will be willing to hold you accountable, and meet us every month at Personal and Professional Best so you can be accountable. Hey, let's play smart and let's make the world a better place.